It's 5:45 a.m. August the 13th, 2010, and we are departing Ding'er County for the Mt.Everest base camp. The distance is 110 kilometers, which usually takes about 3 hours. To see more of the Mt.Everest, we decided to leave Ding'er at dawn. After about 20 minutes, we arrived at a checkpoint to check ID and border permits. Later, we pass another where our tickets to enter base camp are also checked. After that, our car starts to drive over Ula Mountain, which is famous for its winding roads. The vehicle keeps shaking and bending on gravel road. We could not calculate how many curves we have passed in the dark. Our driver said it has 120. It should be. 1 hour later, we drive down from Ula Mountain. The road becomes flatter. The day is getting lighter. We pass through some Tibetan villages, and in the distance, the snow-topped mountains are unfolding from the clouds. For us, that is a good indication, as the best time to view Mt.Everest is in April, May, and September. We pray for a sunny day, as this summer has been very rainy. As we drive closer to Mt.Everest, the road gets worse. The stream along the road comes from snowy mountains. At 8:30 a.m., we reach the last checkpoint, and that means we are in the hub of Mt.Everest protection area. A few minutes later, we drive through the Rongbu Monastery, the highest monastery in the world. At 8:45, we arrive at the base camp for Mt.Everest. There are many tent hostels at base camp which provide basic services for tourists. Many people stay here for a few more days just to catch one sight of Mt.Everest. There is a small post office from where tourists can spend 25 yuan to buy a postcard and post it home as a special souvenir. Next, we take the shuttle bus to number 1 base, which is 8 kilometers from the base camp. The 15-minute drive gets us to the closest place to view Mt.Everest for tourists other than those who are hiking. There is a frontier checkpoint but no tourist tents at number 1 base. After our ID is checked again, we are allowed to enter the camp. We walk slowly up a hill. The elevation at the base camp is 5,200 meters. It is not easy to move around or do any activities at such a high altitude. We have difficulty in breathing. As we stand on the small hill, Mt.Everest appears clearly before us, and our trip is suddenly very worthwhile. We are humbled to see this rare scene. The Tibetan name for Mt.Everest is Chomolungma, which means Holy Mother. It is the world's highest mountain above sea level at 8,844 meters and part of the Himalaya range. The mountain sits on the border between Nepal and Tibet. More than 2,000 people have successfully climbed to the top of the mountain. As ordinary people, we now have some understanding of what is involved in making the ascent. But for us, having the opportunity to face the holy mountain is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We spent about 40 minutes at number 1 base. After that, we returned to the base camp by shuttle bus and head back to Dingri. En route, we stopped at Rongbu Monastery and looked back. The mountain is covered by clouds. Our car is surrounded by dust while we drive along the gravel road back to Dingri. Though we are tired, the landscapes along the way are very attractive and we can't help taking more photos. One hour later, our vehicle wants its way back over Ula Mountain again. This time we can see the bands clearly. When we reach the top of the mountain and look back, we see the cars driving slowly upwards on the winding road. What a view! What a view! In the distance, the snowy mountains are floating in the clouds. Goodbye, Holy Mountain. China Highlights will do the best of our ability to protect the environment and promote eco-tours, to preserve blue sky and clear water of our future.